Last night at the Hog's Bog Tavern, 5 fighters got to boasting, then finally decided to find out who really could hit the target the best. There was a dwarf, an elf, a half-elf, a half-orc, and a human. For weapons, each threw daggers, darts, javelins, short spears, and throwing axes. They cleared the other patrons out of the line of fire and set up a ringed target like the archers used for practice, with the center spot being considered a 10. There were 2 rounds of throwing with each weapon, and the winner of each round had to drink a large mug of ale. Surprisingly enough, their best results were not always achieved with their favorite thrown weapon. Based on the clues given below, can you figure out which fighter favored which thrown weapon, which fighter scored what score, and how many drinks were won by each fighter? Number 1. As you might expect, the fighter that scored the most points won the most drinks. Number 2. The human hadn't bragged much, and for good reason. He wasn't very good. He agreed to try, but he came in last and didn't win any drinks at all. The human did not prefer the javelin. Number 3. The elf won as many drinks in total as the dwarf and the fighter that preferred the javelin put together. Number 4. The half-orc won as many drinks in total as the human and the fighter that preferred the short spear put together. Number 5. The fighter that preferred throwing a dagger scored 92 points, but it was not the dwarf. Number 6. The fighter that scored 88 points won more drinks than did the fighter that scored 91 points, which was the fighter that preferred the throwing axe. To use the worksheet, mark a cell with a dot if you find a positive correlation between one of the things along the left edge and one of the things across the top. For example, you could tell from clue number 1 that the fighter that scored 94 points won 4 drinks. Therefore, you place a dot in the cell that associates 4 on the left with 94 across the top. Once you find a positive correlation, you can mark off 4 associated negative correlations along each axis. For example, if you have a dot in the cell for 4 and 94, you can place an X in each of the following cells: 0 and 94, 1 and 94, 2 and 94, 3 and 94, 4 and 85, 4 and 88, 4 and 91, and 4 and 92. If you could establish 4 negative correlations in a group along one axis, you have proven that the 5th cell in that group is a positive correlation. As above, if you mark a positive correlation with a dot in the cell, mark the negative correlations along the other axis with an X.